Alrighty. Good morning. It is Doc from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see what we got going on today. You can see on J4X, you see the dollar index green again today. By the hair of it. Oh, no, wait a minute. There it is. It is red. I was looking at it. It was all scrunched up. And you can see that the fast stochastic is trading at 54.9. And the slow is at 64. 3, so it's what's that, 54 versus 64, so 10 points underneath, about a what's that, 8% spread, not too bad, but it's minus, and that's the key right there with the red hinky telling us that there's weakness. See over here on our beta platform, let's see if we can make that bigger too. There's the beta platform. You can see the same situation moving down. You see we're underneath, and we've been in that weekly sell there. Then we go slide over to our platform we've been using for decades. And you can see here, same situation, pushing into the sell this morning. You see we've been in a weekly sell for 3 weeks. So that pressure is on the dollar to go down against the pairs trades. So we'll look around, take a look at the different pairs trades, see how they look, and have a better idea of what's really going on. We've seen over the last couple of weeks or I guess it's over the last month, we've seen where like the Swiss and the yen went one way, and the British pound, known as the cable, and the euro have gone the other way, where they showed strength against the dollar. The other two showed weakness. So we can slide over to that now and check it out and see what's going on there. Yes, let's move that over to there too at the same time. There we go. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the euro. We'll put it up on J4X. Right there. And there's the euro. You see it's lifting up, and the fast is trading at 59.3. The slow is trading at 49.3. So there's a good, I guess about 8% increase there, just like we're seeing about 8% increase on the downside. And let's put it up over here. We'll go to there like that, and there's the euro there. You can see the same thing climbing up into the daily buy today. You can see we're above the 0 line, and there's the weekly showing a third week in a buy. Now we use the stochastics, the slow, that's the yellow dashed one, and the fast, that's the dark bluish purple one, as the 0 line for J4X. And we see the hinkies to confirm it with them being the same color. And when you see this, trading greater than this, the slow, the fast trading better than the slow, we get that upwardly action in the product itself. And traders, remember, you can ask any questions you want whenever you want. No problem there at all. All right, let's go to that on the beta platform, and this is the futures contract we're looking at. Let's see if we can get that mouse going right. There it is. And we'll go all the way up to here, and there is the 6EF, and that's the futures contract. And you can see the futures contract's doing the same thing. It's lifting through the 0 line, and at the same time you see it going up in value. So we're seeing that as we're seeing the dollar index heading down. We see the euro heading up. And now let's check out cable. What a nice simple morning it seems like. So I'll take a sip of my tea. There we go. So let's take a peek at the cable, and that would be, let's see, there's the futures contract 6B. Somebody's hiding that right there's 6B. You can see that same situation going on. The 0 line has been pierced. It's moving above. We see the fast, I'm sorry, you see the product itself with a green dot moving up, and we are on a 4th week of a weekly buy there. Let's see who gave us a text. Someone gave us a text. Who gave us a text? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. YouTube not letting me sign in chat again. I will just watch. Okay. Okay. There we are. All right. Oh, just got in. How about that? Excellent. Hello, Robin. Good morning to you. So, from there, we showed you the cable and the euro, and they're showing that strength. Now we slide over to Swiss. Just got in. Okay. And the answer to that all is... I'm just answering another text. All right, now from there we go and look at the Swiss. Let's go take a look at the Swiss, and that would be right. We're going to go with the futures contract in the Swiss, so it'll be an inverse relationship. So there it is right there. So if this is going up, then the Swiss is going down. Exactly, on the spot. That's the futures contract. That works reverse compared to, we'll show it to you here, and we'll show it to you here. So when the Swiss is going up, it's losing against the dollar. Like that move right there, and then when it goes down, it's gaining against the dollar. And then when this action here for 3 or 4 days was losing against the dollar, then let's take a look at it over here. There's spot. That's spot Swiss against dollar. You can see it's been very mild too. Look at that. Very curved, very soft. You know, it didn't take out this high, didn't take out this low, and now you can see it's trying to go into the sell. At the same time, you see the weekly is trying to lift up. So it's definitely a confused battle at the moment. You know, the short-term day-to-day is trying to break down and gain against the dollar. The weekly, who's been in a sell since up in here, and then went down and then went up and went down and made a higher low, and now is trying to go into a buy. We'll see how long that lasts if we see strength on the daily, because dailies can lead to weeklies. But let's take a look at it over here on the Chicago Quant, right there, and you can see the future went into the buy yesterday. That's the interesting one. You know, it went into that buy yesterday, and you know, it's holding up, and we've been in a weekly buy in this thing for like, you know, 5 weeks now, 5 weeks. So this is the Swiss. So in essence, it's been gaining against the dollar for, and it's telling us, let's put it this way, the strength has been, let's just make it large right here. You'll be able to see the weekly. You can see here the weekly's been in a buy for going on a 5th week. Now it's starting to back off, but remember the futures contract is an inverse relationship, so it's Swiss against dollar, not dollar against Swiss, so it reverses it. Whereas the euro and the cable both work the same way on the futures contract as the spot. It doesn't work that same way when it comes to the Swiss, and so this push up has been trying to tell us since, what is that date? Let's go back and look at that like that, and that's been telling us since October 8th that the overall trend is stronger against the dollar. Now when we go over to here and look at the spot, you can see the same thing. There is the that's October. What is that? That's October. Let's do this. That is show. Oh, yes, yeah, the 8th. Okay, so when we go to October 8th, you can see here it's been overall, it's been gaining against the dollar. Even when it popped up, it was a lower high, and then started to head down again. And now what we're waiting to see is if the daily gets some grip and it closes below, maybe we'll start to see a drop and gain. That means it's gaining against the dollar. And in this case here, the weekly may just fail by the end of the week and roll over. And that could be the whole action we see. Yawn? You're yawning? What are you yawning about, Robin? At least you're able to type on the chat line now. That's good. Yawn. All right. And then when we go like this, you see that same thing. It's been working its way down on J4X. You can see that. Now we see it at 60.5, and we see the slow at 58. So it's it hasn't got into the buy totally yet, because the fast stochastic is above the slow, but we are generating, as you can see right there, it's trying to generate a red hinky, and you can see in this case here we've already broken. And then our new platform we're really excited about, and that is that the fact that it went into the sell, the futures contract, basically. In other words, the Swiss is being bought. Yesterday shows that it's being bought and went into a buy yesterday, or in this case here it would be a sell. When you look at the spot, so it's our new beta is doing a fine job and even performing a little bit better than the old one. So we can't complain. So from there we go over to the yen. Let's see what the yen is up to this morning. All right, let's find you. We're going to throw that up on here. And there's the yen. Oh, that didn't work. What's going on there? There you go. And the yen, well, it's popped this morning, and it's still in a sell on the futures, which means it's still probably in a buy in the spot. So let's put it up on here. Yep, and it's just barely. It's down a little bit, but you can see I think it closed at a 45-year high last night. The high itself did not break the 94. The high is 91. Today's high is 78, almost 79, and it's hanging around at the. It's hanging. See that right there was a 45-year high in the close at 151.67, which was beat the November of 2022 close. So we're seeing some, weakness. This when it's going up, it's losing against the dollar. So we're seeing that weakness on the yen itself. Now let's put that up on J4X. Right there. You can see here the fast stochastic's trading at 90.3. The slow is trading at 93. So you can see it's trying to roll over also. We're getting a little rollover there in the stochastics themselves. But we're still got the green hinkies going on. We're up at the highs. You see that weekly doesn't seem to want to, back off. It's really. They lost the finance minister yesterday in Tokyo. They didn't misplace him. He resigned. He was caught at cheating on taxes, and so he's out the door. The support for the government is very low, but they don't seem to move away from their socialist structure. So, it just means they just change deck chairs on the Titanic. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So, in other words, it's a sinking ship, but all they do is move the deck chairs around, not to fix the ship so it doesn't sink. It's not underwater; it's just leaking. It's a leaky thing, very sticky, as they would say in the hedge fund industry. All right, and so that's what we have going on with that, and with the ministers shifting here, there, and everywhere, and over in Japan, and there's hunger to get growth again, and they're just none of it's really working out for them. But it's like that across the whole planet. It's not like they're unique. They're not. I mean, China's can't pay $15 million interest payments on $11 billion. So, and notice that the President for Life, Xi, has showed up here in the United States now with hat in hand, as they would say, at a conference trying to convince businesses to come back to China because money is leaving China for the first time in modern times. they're, in the last 20 some odd years, they're seeing that money is running away, not running towards China. And obviously the Congress has shown that President Biden has been bribed by the Chinese, and it's just a matter of time before that all falls apart. And so, that's where we are. And so Xi is actually coming to the United States and begging for money. The one who claims he's going to be the number one nation in the world is come to America with hat in hand. I find that truly entertaining. You're not going to see much about the media talking about it too much, except for the fact that they clean San Francisco up. So, they locked up all the homeless people, moved them away, cleaned up the streets, and so forth, just to make it all look like all is hunky-dory. All is hunky-dory. So, having something to nibble on there. All right, so that's the yen. Now what we do is we're moving nice, slow, and steadily. No one's asking any questions, so we're just marching along softly with no complaints. So from there, we go over to the great experiment, the Turkish lira this morning. And there it is again, trying to close another all-time high. It's in a daily buy for a second day. It's still one of these greens. Must be around here somewhere. There's one. Let's steal that green. Move it over to there. And then move it like that. And then move it like so. Right there. So we are second day in a buy right there, closing at another all-time high. And you can see we've been in that weekly buy since here. We run over to J4X to show you the same situation going on with the great experiment, better known as the Turkish lira. Right there. There it is, the great experiment. You can see on the chart there, that's the great experiment, just all the way going back to Q1 in 2022, where it was trading at 19. It has basically gone up over 50% just over the last I guess it'll be 2 years, a 50% increase in the currency in value. 50%. No wonder the inflation rate is in the 60s, if not greater. Some things they claim is up like 150, 160. But overall, the official inflation rate in the great experiment, Turkey, is at 61%. So. What else can we say about any of that? Let's take a look at it in a much closer basis. You can see that the fast stochastic's trading at 75.4, and the slow is at 67.8. So pressure is still on the upside with these green hinkies. You see here we've gone into the daily buy and a bigger, larger action, or I guess you could time frame. Basically the weekly signal is telling us that it's been in that weekly buy now since mid-September, when it was in the 29s. We've seen the crazy spike they had about 3 days ago. So I guess the best thing we can say is good luck with your great experiment, and we look forward to seeing where it goes from here. I mean, it's at all-time highs, so hopefully if you change policies, we may see something different, maybe? What's that old saying about Al Einstein? He used to say something like, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. So maybe someone over there in Turkey wants to pay attention to the old Al Einstein theory of finance. Keep on doing the same policies and expect the same things, not different ones. Whoopsie daisy, eh? All right, from there we go over to, as we were talking about China and how President for Life Xi has come to the United States with his hat in hand, asking for money, they're like a colony of ours. If we don't buy from them, they don't grow. So for them to be the number one nation in the world, it would be a really screwy thing. It means the world wouldn't grow, I guess. Since they can't grow on their own with their policies, their great experiment. And so let's take a look at the number one BRIC. BRIC represents, Brazil, Russia, India. I think India is moving out of the BRICS at this point. Let's see. C is for China, or China, as my dad would like to call it. And let's see, BRICS. S at the end, South Africa. So we look at the strongest BRIC currency in the world, and that is obviously the South African rand. It's leaps and bounds better than any of the other products. Let's see. Let's go to it right here. And there's the South African rand. And it's been, as it moves up in the spot, that means that it's losing against the dollar. Now today you can see it's trying to turn down a little bit. We've been in a weekly sell since here. That's about 2.5 weeks ago, or 3 weeks. Now we're in the third week of the selling, or 3 full weeks, I guess, when it started at the beginning of the week, and it rolled over, and you can see we were in a daily sell below the manifold line there with the green, and bon voyage basically. And then you can see it dropped down from the 19 all the way down to 18. Was that the low is 18.15? So it was a good little dash down. And then what we do is we look at the metals complex, because when looking at the South African rand, it kind of clarifies the direction of the metals. And due to the fact it's trying to roll over the last couple of days, hasn't done too good a job. And let's put that up on J4X. And there is the South African rand right there. And you can see it's trying to pop up, and it's starting to stall. You can see the fast stochastic at 80.4, and the slow is at 82.7. So it's dropped underneath the slow. So we're seeing that weakness, and you can see that right there with that little red dot and so forth. And this may change colors within the next couple of hours at this point, with it staying like this. And then, as you can see here, it's just on the edge. We're just on the edge. You can see it over there. It's at 0.0069er. And so it's just on the edge of going into the sell, pushing into that sell and joining with the weekly. Now what we'll do is we will go over to, let's see, we have it on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go look at gold and compare it to the South African rand. And there is gold. You see it's trying to lift up. It's trying to get some grip on the upside. It's banging against that base that we've had on the screen here now for weeks. Expecting to see it play itself down to that. It's been in a daily sell there. Went into the daily sell there and failed. It was in the buy for this nice move. And we are still in the weekly buy, but notice the fast moving algorithm of ours on the weekly pierced last week, closed in a sell, and is still representing that weakness. Now we'll see if it bounces. Now the slow, obviously you see the manifold and the histogram, and you can see the green line obviously staying above the zero line. So again, we've been basically saying it's a base. Oops, didn't mean to grab that. We want to grab the word base. We basically feel that it's a base more than it is, or a head and shoulders. We don't really think it's a head and shoulders. We think there's strength in there, but again, more buyers and sellers tell us the story in the end, and that's what our math tells us all the time about which product has more buyers and sellers. That's what our math always tells us. So we look at that, and you see it, and let's put it up on our other platform too. Let's see, where's gold? Gold. Where are you, gold? And we'll find that and put that up on the screen. There it is right there. And let's move it over like so. Right there. As you can see, it's been in a sell. Did it get it? Let's emphasize that. What is that? That is... Okay, it went into a buy one day on the 3rd. Okay, so it's just to straighten that out again. So it was in a sell from here on the 31st, went into the daily sell right here, and stayed in that sell all the way down to, I guess what it was, we got it right there on this pop, and then went right back into the sell again the next day. We've been in a weekly sell on this product now for a second week, so that pressure is on there. Notice that on our old platform that we're moving slowly towards removing, notice that it's still in the buy. It's still in the buy. And it doesn't want to let go. So it's kind of interesting there. We're watching that battle go on. And in this case here, you can see, let's just go back to it again. You can see on the new platform, the stochastic, not stochastic, I'm sorry, the histogram and the green line below the zero line. And the fast dropped in there 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago it went into there. So we're seeing that pressure on the product itself. Okay. Let's do this. Go like that. And I just want to save this. This is the first, it's clean. I like to save it every time I see it. This way it's a new fresh one. Just move this screen out of the way like that. And go like that. There we are. What else can we say about any of that stuff? I guess that's enough to be said about the gold. So from the gold we go to the silver, because we're looking at the South African rand. We try to understand the metals complex from it. And so there's silver. Silver is trying to climb into a sell right there. You can see that it's battling to try to get into a buy, not doing too good a job either. And then we go and take a look at it over here on our new platform. Let's try that. Let's find Mr. and Mrs. Silver. All right. And put that up on the screen. And so you can see there's silver. It's been in a sell for, which is interesting. There you go. It's just going into the sell now on silver. And it's battling along, trying to push down. Had been in a buy throughout all this. At the same time, we've been in a weekly sell for 2 full weeks, so it's really trapped. The South African rand is showing that it wants to try to gain against the dollar, but it's not. And the metals complex reflects that. It's losing against, it's going down in value, not going up in value. Now, obviously, if we start to see the South African rand start to gain against the dollar again, then we'll be thinking like, ooh, you want to get long the metals complex more. And that's why we do this, when we get to the end of the currencies, basically, of what we follow. And we are always willing to take a look at any other currency anybody would like to see. But we can see here the relationship between the South African rand and the metals complex itself. So from there, we go to Chi's favorite, President Hat in Hand, we're going to call him today. And we'll go take a look at the copper. Copper right there. And there's copper. It jumped into the buy yesterday. It's playing with it again today. There's no problems there. Let's show you on the other screen. And put copper up on there, like so. Oh, you know what I need to do is save that too. Let's do that. Save the image. Be the image. There we are. All right, now let's find copper. Right there. You see, just like on our new beta platform, both are lifting up. Right there. You can see the weekly jumped into the buy last week, and over here it is still having somewhat of an issue trying to get into the weekly. So we're really, Robin, the beta platform is really doing a great job there. Somehow or another your chat line disappeared. I don't see any. The two things you typed in there are gone now. Interesting. All right, so and that's a real positive thing. Our beta, we've been pushing on it now for months, looking at it, watching it. We've tightened it up again a couple of weeks ago. It's really starting to perform well. Once we change the data feed, we'll be able to show you spot currencies. And then, present. Cool. And then from there, what is it? From there, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the beta. The beta is looking very good. Maybe we can get to the intraday. I can't wait to get an intraday on that. All right, now let's jump over to. You disappeared again. Isn't that interesting? It just keeps on losing stuff, doesn't it? All right. So from there, we'll go to the last one. We'll look at platinum. The PL. Where are you? Platinum. Right there. And there's platinum. I think that's it. And it's, and in weekly sells, it just doesn't let go. I tried to get into the buy. Yeah, it's very thin. I think that might be the December contract too. We need the. See if we can find the platinum Jan. There it is right there. Platinum Jan. See if that perks up. There, that's better. So you can see here it's trying to get into the daily buy today. It's in the weekly sell for 3 weeks. It went into a buy like 4 weeks back and then failed at it, for that pop. And we've been in a weekly sell, so it's a real disappointment. Now looking at it right. Oh, I didn't save this too. Let me do that. Save Caparero. There we go. So right there, you can see this is the platinum. I'll show it to you right there. And it's interesting in the sense that it's been in a weekly sell for 3 weeks, and the product, kind of usually gives us a good direction of the metals. It's another information thing like the South African rand. And 3 weeks back it went into a buy and then fell right back into a sell. In this case here, it did it a week earlier. That's the cool thing, a week earlier. And it's been in that long glide down, and it didn't go into the buy yesterday with that nice pop right there. But there it did. And it's still climbing, so we'll see. Now today it's trying to get into the buy, which is okay with me. You can see there, just a plus by the hair of its chin. And the metals complex, when looking at the budgeting and the craziness that goes on world finance, I guess what it is that everybody's in the same boat. So in other words, in 2008, the world collapsed financially, and America is still the strongest financial entity of them all. And we're all in the same situation. As we always like to say over here, we are the cleanest of the dirty shirts, like a shirt you wear in the laundry. So in other words, everybody's got dirty shirts. We're just the cleanest one. So in other words, we're all feeling the pain from the collapse of 2008 when the socialists buried the real estate market by giving loans out to everybody and anybody with no money down. That crushed the whole marketplace. And hence now, like Citibank or, Lloyd's of London or Merrill Lynch or Bear Stearns, all these companies, Wachovia, they're all gone. Santander, they're all gone, owned by central banks now. HSBC owned by the central banks. Bank of Scotland owned by the central banks. In other words, it's more owned by the central banks on the planet than not at this point. Some of these companies that were legends for hundreds of years, and in Lloyd's of London, I'm not sure how long that went on for. Lloyd's might be 400 years old. Now they're bankrupt and gone, and they're owned by the Exchequer. Deutsche Bank in Germany, another historical bank, gone. Credit Suisse, gone. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. But the names are still alive because they were good names, but the management is gone, and they're not owned by the same people as before. So it's kind of like a hide. Let's hide the reality of it all. Let's hide it. You never hear it on financial news around. Listen to, what's that? Robin throws a question mark up. Question mark? What's up? What's up, Robin? What's that question mark for? So it's like they're all gone. All gone. The socialists buried them. All right. Now from there, we slide over to, let's see, we've done the platinum. So what we do is we go now and we take a look at the energy sector. So we're going to throw, there's crude oil. It's been trying to lift for 3 days. You can see that strength there. Still in a weekly sell there. So it's not exactly showing us the, the most consistency there. Now we have the same thing on our beta. Our beta is even more tenacious with it. Let's show it to you there. There's the beta. And even weekly sells, it refuses to even get near a weekly buy. And every time it gets into a daily sell, it falls down. It's been winner, winner, chicken dinners. Now for the last 2 days, it is battling to get into the buy. And sure enough, it's hanging tight in there. That's for sure. Now let's look at the Canadian dollar. We look at the Canadian dollar. We'll put that up on J4X. We look at the Canadian dollar the same way as we use the South African rand. Only we look at that more towards the energy sector. And as you can see, as it's losing against the dollar, as it rises, that's how that works there with the spot. You have the energy sector doing the same thing. Let's just put that up again right there. And you can see the same situation. It peaked out there just like that 130-ish area. When was that? That was July. In this case here, in mid-September, it peaked out and has been heading down. And then I guess if we even tighten it up more, is there any chance it's higher than that? No, I guess not. No, this is and remember, these contracts have short lives, because they're odd. They change them every month. It's not like every 3 months. So you can see there that the crude oil itself is having its problem. Vanishing comments. Isn't that odd? If you see somebody say if you see somebody type something on the chat line, let us know. Because if it vanishes, at least I can answer it. So from there, we'll go over to the North Sea oil. Let's take a look at Brent. Okay, Mr. Brent, where are you? There it is right there. And we'll put it up on the screen. And there's North Sea. You see it's in a buy for a couple days now. You see the weeklies like the way West Texas Intermediate is. It's been in weekly sells for a long, long time. Vanishing comments. I like that. Vanishing. And I did check to see if anybody said anything on the video, but no one did. And what else can we say about the oil complex? What's interesting is that there is, let's put it back over here. So right there you can see oil is trading at 78.22. It's a little down for the day, nothing major. Down a few cents. 78.22. And we take a look at the back month of February, and it's at 77.90. And so then we can see there from 77.90 to 78.26. That's a 36 cent premium. That's it. Now we've seen this thing at a $3 premium no more than 3 weeks ago. So that's a wild shrinkage of the back and front month. Obviously, demand up front now has really slowed down because there was like 3, 3.25, 2.5 for weeks. They were trading it way over. And now they've stopped that altogether and shrunk it back down. All right. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Let's check out Nat Gas. Let's see. Natural gas. Natural gas right there. And we'll put it up over here. Now, as you can see, Canadian, we leave that up on the screen showing you the upwardly projection, and there it is right there. It's coming down a little bit today. Let's see what it's doing on the new platform, on our beta. Let's see. Where's that mouse at? Right there. So you can see there, it's not backing off as much. We're in buys, just like we are here. But the weekly is in a sell. It's trying to lift up. That was a nice spike there yesterday. Maybe those crazy winds. You see those winds cutting across southern Europe? up to 144 miles an hour. I guess what would they be, about 86, 90 kilometers an hour? Winds, like, whew, explosive. I know that Italy's been seeing them, 101 mile an hour winds, or in this case it would be like, what's that, 62, 68, something like that in kilometers an hour. Maybe it's 72 or something like that. That's pretty powerful winds. It's like a hurricane. All right. And so that's the gas. That's deck gas. And then we take a look at the energy company in Europa, down in Spain. And it's been hanging around the 26.5 area, 27, back and forth. And there it is right there. And we are basically at the 26 there again. You can see we're still in buys. And when it comes to the weekly, we're still in buys. So natural gas is feeling that pressure on the upside. Of course, we're going into winter. We're only 40 days away from the darkest day of the year for Northern Hemisphere on planet Earth. And so that always puts a little pressure. Sunlight is everything. No sunlight, no heat. It's a tough situation. You need that sunlight. It's without the sun, we are nothing. We don't exist. I saw a movie. There's a movie out there where our sun has died, and our planet is heading towards another solar system. It's like left out in space, and we're like stuck in. It doesn't orbit anymore. I guess it doesn't spin or something like that. So we're always, I guess the planet is being drawn by probably like Barnard or something. It's only like 4 or 5 light years away, and it's being slowly pulled now that we don't have our sun anymore. And it's a funny, odd movie, but it's like based around an industrial mining structure that's the human beings have fallen back to, or something like that. What do we got here? Robin says the jet stream is very fast, right? And now planes setting records crossing the Atlantic to Europe. You know what happened, Robin? You ready for this one? That's interesting that you saw that. I didn't see that one. I've heard about it. A friend of mine was flying on Monday, and the plane got there like 30 minutes earlier. But what happened was the solar wind flipped out on us in the last 48 hours. And what it did is it switched polarity. So our solar wind that controls the airflow of our planet went from positive charge to negative charge. And so that's funny you mentioned that. That's probably the big thing about it. I think I can show you, which is very rare to see these things do it. Let's see if I can get that up on there. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's put it there, and we won't experiment in front of you, but let's put it up there. I'll show you the indicators to it, which really they just shifted dramatically. And so the solar wind went from plus to minus, and that was really weird. Let's see, search. Is it search or science? Let's go to science. Remember, when we look at weather, we do it through science. We don't do it through spirituality.
Is there a hidden camera spying on you right now?
Pause this. There we are. Skip. Okay, we're going to show it to you. The chart. Let's see what it is. It's right here. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. There it is, right there. Okay, and I'll pause that. Let's see if we can make it the whole picture. There it is. Okay. Right there. So what you're seeing here is the solar wind shifted from plus to minus and took this indicator way down. That's 600, almost like 575 miles per second of the solar wind, and it just drove it hard down like that. And you got a flip over here. where the red line normally is hugging along, it just dropped dramatically because of the charge. Same thing here with the blue, the gap, and it dropped down. And so you can see it throughout all the stats that we see on, let's see, so solar wind, magnetic flip, damaging winds occurred from it. Exactly. See it right there. It says it up in there. So, yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned that. Yeah, yeah, it was a big pickup. Yeah, it just pushed everything. Thank goodness they build the planes capable. I've seen more studies about how, I guess what I want to call it, dangerous. Things are getting, with the weakening magnetic field, and now the North Pole is. I know we're drifting off on that a little bit, but the North Pole now is about 1,800 miles into Siberia, and the South Pole now is halfway to Australia. And we believe that the new South Pole will be off of Brazil. That's where it's headed. And so we're going to see a flip like that. And the North Pole will be off of Bengali or something like that. Bengal. And underneath, was it India? Out that way. So, yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. Anyhow, that is why we're seeing, and at the same time, the world, I've been saying it here on the webinar, the world currents themselves are slowing on the planet. So we're at the same time as we are seeing the one thing, we're seeing the other, and that's what's making those winds cutting across Europe at dramatic speeds. So, unfortunately, the climate people are not really paying attention to any of that. They think that other things are controlling our weather. For some reason, they don't respect the sun. Matter of fact, the sun is, would you believe in climate, like global warming or cooling or whatever they call themselves, they don't even follow the sun. The sun is not part of their calculation. So they treat it like we don't have a sun. And that Earth is just governed by the way humans act on it and nothing more. It's really strange. I don't know. It just is what it is, I guess. But that's why no one's taking them too serious except for the politicians, where they take money in their pockets to do what they want. In other words, the globalists get them to contribute tax dollars, and they're making money from it. Anyhow, where are we at from here? So natural gas, as you can see, moving down right now, but still in a buy for the day, but the weekly's in the sell. And that energy company in Spain, showing us that it's going nowhere for weeks now. You see that right here. Let's see if we can do this like that. You see that for weeks now. It's just like that, just sideways, just cruising along the 2660 area, 2650 area, kind of stuck in the middle there. Interesting stuff there. All right, from there, let's see where we go, right there. All right, from there, we go over to, what do we got? We've got about 5-6 minutes left. Let's go take a look at the stock indices this morning. We do have CPI coming out in, about 10 minutes, something like that. So there is the S&P 500. You see it's reaching up again, trying to climb, but mainly more in a buy than a sell. You can see here, same situation in a weekly buy now for a full 3 weeks. They've kind of plateaued here. We'll see what the news tells us about CPI, see if it goes roaring up or if it stalls out. Now let's put that up over here. S&P 500. In fact, let's just jump around. We'll have some fun. There's the S&P 500 doing the same thing. Seeing that pushing up and away. You see the fast stochastics at 92.2 and the slows at 82.4. So, still that strength is still out there, just pushing. Let's see. Now from there, we go over to the Tech 100. Right there's the Tech 100 showing same thing, lots of strength. Stochastics at 94.9 versus 88 even. So they're buying them slow and softly. Now from there, we'll put that up on that right there. And you can see the same thing, showing strength, 3 days in a buy, and 3 solid weeks in a buy. And let's take a look at it over here. Let's see. There it is right there. See it in the buy there for 3 days. And the weekly buy has been 4 weeks. So it's an actual week ahead of the old platform. That's what's nice about it. The beta is doing a fine job. Do 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 do. Let's see if we can find the Tech 100 on here. I know we have QQQ. That's always good too. Let's show you QQQ. Let's show you the QQQ. Right. Maybe it's up top. There's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And let's find the QQQ. Right there. There's QQQ. And as you can see there, it's been very strong. 2 days in a buy. And you can see 3 weeks in a buy. And it's just climbing. It's been, very strong, very comfortable. Came out of that hole, dug its way out of the hole, showed some strength, and we are flying along in there. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. Same situation, 3 days in a buy, and it's 4 weeks in a buy, and it's gone from, 32,500 all the way up to 34,500, a 2,000 point move on the upside on the beta platform. Pretty cool. And then we'll put it up over here and switch screens again. And let's see. Let me see. Right there. There it is. And that's showing, 3 weeks in a weekly buy, not 4. So again, the beta is leading, not following. I like that, because that's what's going to be our new platform as time goes on when we finally get this all worked up. Robin, I did talk to Nina last night, and she's going to have something for us, I think, tonight or going into tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow day, let's put it that way. All right, from there, where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? Let's take a look at the Russell 2000. I saw that it was lifting up yesterday and the day before, but not enough. You can see it's getting into the buy again today. It's fighting to get into the buy there. Now, you can see when we go over to, let's put it up on, let me find the Russell. We'll put it up on the beta platform. It's showing a lot more strength, which is interesting. Where's that at? RTY, I think it is. RTY, where are you? We'll find it and switch screens. There it is, right there. And there it is on the screen. And as you can see, it's trying to climb into the buy also. And at the same time, it is through the weekly buy at the moment. That's a positive thing. Now, obviously, the slow is leaping up, the green line, and the histogram's getting into the plus. The fast has backed off and is trying to back down through the 0 line right there. We'll see if they can turn it and get that going. And boom, zoom to the moon, Alice. Now, obviously, you can see here that it's been a long ride down from the 2000 area. And let's see if we switch screens again. You'll see it here. It's been it's really been driving down. From the 2000 area. It went into the weekly sell here at 1900 and change, and has gone all the way down to 16 something or another, 16 and a half, basically 1640. So it's been one hard push. As I understand it, something like 40% of the stocks in the Russell 2000 are not making money. They're showing losses, and 60% of them are showing it. Now, I understand the Russell 3000, it's even worse. 60% of the stocks are showing minuses, and only 40% are showing gains. So, these are the weakest, youngest companies. They're only like $500 million, and, I think the biggest ones are in there. They might be $2 billion or $3 billion companies. They're very small. They're the like what Apple was at one time or Microsoft. They're all small little companies. That one of them is going to be an Apple or a Microsoft, but you have to buy 2,000 of them to guess which one is which. All right. So there we start thinking, like, what kind of title should we use for the today? You know, what did we talk about? What was on the front part of our minds as we looked at the markets today? And I would say that what can we say? I guess we could say that we looked at energies and metals and how they are reacting. We've talked about the metals a lot lately too, and we've talked about the interest. Oh, let's take one quick look at. Let's go look at the bond. Let's take a look at the 30-year, because I noticed it's trying to get back into the buy again. Now that's a signal that the interest rates are dropping again. That's what it's trying to do. And after this nice beautiful run from here to 109.12 all the way up to 115.20. So it's been a fantastic interest rate drop. When this rises in price, interest rates are going down. I know that's a little confusing for some, and that's no problem. We understand that. That's why they've created things like TLT and so forth. But yes, that's how that works. And so we're watching the way the bonds are acting, and we're watching how it's all playing itself out. Now let's go over to the intraday of the S&P 500 real quick, and we'll show you. This is, it's been bouncing between, since the European Open, we're looking at it between 4,425 all the way up to 437. So it's about a 12-point range. Climbs up and then goes down. Went down to the bottom there again, and now it's stuck right in the middle of it all. So with about, I guess we got, where is it at? Where's the clock? We've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds for the CPI to come out. And that will be very interesting. So traders, we're going to jump, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Traders, we will catch you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. And we'll talk about what the CPI looked like and what it did and what it should have done and so forth and so on. So, ta-ta for now.